We will be creating a work of art inspired by the artwork of Bob McCall. Today, we will just work on the planets. We will cut them out next time and then glue them onto a background that we create inspired by the Hubble telescope images. For now, we will just focus on using value to shade a circle to make it look like a sphere or planet form. We will want to use lots of different sized circles so that later when we glue them down, we can create near and far space. Use a circle tracer, or you may use the different lids or other circles you find around the room to trace. Be sure to trace many different sized circles. You can even draw circles that go off the corner of the page. Now it's time to apply what we know about color and using value to shade a spherical form. I have provided these printouts just to give you an idea of some planet colors and patterns, but you can create your own made-up planets as well. When creating your planet, it's going to be important that we apply everything we've learned about color throughout the year. We want to use colors next to each other on the color wheel. We do not want to use colors that are too far apart from each other on the color wheel, or else we'll get muddy hues. We are using a soft, water-soluble oil pastel. It's important that when you're using these oil pastels, you put them back in the box right away. They should not be left on the table to roll around, because if they roll around and fall on the floor or get squished, they're very difficult to clean up. Plus, we want to take care of these materials. I'm going to start with the highlight. I'm always going to shade from the same direction, keeping it consistent throughout each of my planets. I'm blending in some white, and even though I don't see it now, once I start to blend my colors, that white will be apparent. You'll be able to see it because you'll see a different texture on your paper where you color the white oil pastel. I'll be doing a green planet, so I'm going to go from white into yellow, into a leaf green, and then into a darker green, and finally a blue. I want to color smooth and neat, but because these oil pastels are water soluble, I don't have to fill in every gap perfectly. The water can be used to smooth out my texture. Notice how I'm coloring so that my colors collide together and overlap. This is going to give me a smoother transition between colors and a more realistic fade. I can use my fingers to begin blending, and then later I can use the water to blend it some more. Once I am finished shading the whole planet, then I'm ready to start blending the colors. When I start blending the colors using water, I will start with the lightest color. You want to make sure that you're using a smaller paintbrush, about this size. Start at your lightest color and slowly start to blend the colors one into the next from light to dark. If you would like to add some patterns, such as Jupiter or Mars, you can swish in some more oil pastel on top of your already wet planet. You can go in with a little bit darker or lighter colors to contrast what you already have, but they still should be close to each other on the color wheel. Here I am blending in some bands, kind of like Jupiter has. You will work through this whole paper, being sure to pay attention to the light source and shade each planet or moon accordingly. You can use a wide variety of colors, and you should have a lot of different sized planets. Next week, we'll learn how to cut them out and create our backgrounds for our planets.